Hey, I'm back, and it is definitely raining out there. So I want to do one more video today about why I have stayed in teaching. And I've seen a lot of videos of teachers quitting. I've heard a lot of anecdotes personally of teachers quitting. And I want to talk about why I'm still in teaching, okay? Because I've thought about quitting a lot. I've thought about changing my profession over the years. And I have changed schools a lot. And so why am I still in teaching? And why am I going to continue to be a teacher, right? I don't have any plans of changing my profession at this point in time. Well, there's a lot of factors, and this will change for every person, right? But for me, I am still in teaching for a number of reasons, right? So, okay, let's start with just basic job level profession, why reasons to stay in teaching, right? And then I'll kind of go out from there, okay? Because when I was at a school that I felt didn't appreciate me, and I felt like a failure as a teacher, and I was looking at other professions, okay, what made me decide to look for another school instead of I was looking for another profession, but why did I go with another school instead of another profession? Why did I make that decision? Because ultimately, even though I was looking, I didn't put in any job applications to other professions, right? There were other options that I didn't take, basically. And so when I was in the mindset of changing professions, and then I ultimately chose not to, okay, there were one of the factors, if you're literally making an Excel sheet and you're pro and conning this out, okay? One of the important things to think about is there's a number of factors. Gosh, there's so many factors. First things first, I had already put all of my time and energy and money and all my benefits, college benefits, toward English education, bachelor's degree, and an English master's degree, right? I had already put in all of that time, right? To then join the profession and then decide I want to leave is not easy for me, or probably for a lot of people, right? A lot of the other professions I was looking at, some of them may not have required me to go back to school, but some of them did, right? And so that was one of the major factors when I was still trying to leave the profession, when I actually still wanted to, not anymore, but when I was, I to completely change my entire career and go into something completely different would require going back to school for some period of time, right? Even though the good thing is with a bachelor's and with a master's, some of that of those credits will basically would have helped me not have be in school for as long as if I had never done school at all, right? So I wouldn't have had to do another 4 years of school. I maybe had to do 2 more years to do some other profession, which was certainly an option. But the older I get, and I'm not that old, but the older I get, the more that time is precious to me. And if I'm thinking about this job is stressful, I want to go do a less stressful job. Trying to do this job and go to school to train to do something else was just not, it didn't make sense to me, right? I was just going to stress myself out even more trying to train to do another profession, right? Definitely was doable. It was an option, but I just didn't think it was a very good option. And then, so I didn't want to have to go back to school if I could at all prevent it. another major factor are the holidays and summer and winter breaks that you get as a teacher, okay? And I know we are very defensive. Teachers can be very defensive about our summer break because a lot of people use it as oh no, what have I done? There's so much traffic. Oh no. Oh man. Something must have happened because this traffic is not moving. Oh no. Oh man. That's what I get for not checking my Maps app. Oh Lord. Anyway, I guess I'll have all the time in the world to do this video, because we're not moving. So, I know teachers are very defensive about the summer and winter breaks that we do get, because a lot of people will use it as a way to downplay our profession, right? Downplay the difficulties that we deal with, right? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use our summer and winter and holiday breaks as a way to make us feel like our job is not that hard. Obviously, it is hard. Otherwise, more people would be in this job, okay? Oh, we're moving. So we become very defensive, and we say that summer break is not really a break. And in some ways, that is true, right? Depending on your school, may require professional development, or maybe you work at a job where you have to do a lot more curriculum development over the summer, or maybe your school is year-round, and so you don't really get these extended breaks. You get breaks here, there, and yonder, but it's not really very long. So, schools can kind of say we have a summer break, but then take away the summer that we have. I mean, there are ways of doing it, but with my current job, that's not true, right? That is true for some people, but it's not true for me. We have, is it 6 or 8 weeks off, right? And that is a big deal. I know we're very defensive about it and saying it's not really a break, but for me it is. And it is, the curriculum's already set in place. I don't have to develop anything. I didn't have to do any professional development over the summer. It was wonderful. That wasn't true at previous schools in previous years, but at this school this year, I've not had to do any work this summer. And it really matters because I'm a mom now, right? And I was looking at, before I was even a mom, I knew any other profession, there are other professions that do allow extended breaks, or maybe even working from home, which helps people who want to be parents, okay? But those jobs there are not a lot of jobs that allow that, nor are they easy. Just because you get to work from home doesn't mean doesn't mean it's easy for you to then parent and do your job at home, right? Whereas with teaching, you really get the best of both worlds. You get this very secure job. You could do this job. I mean, there's so many schools that exist. You could do this job in any city, in any state, really in any place in the world. You can teach somewhere, and it's a very secure kind of job. You get retirement, salary. You get these very long breaks, depending on what school you go to. I get this very long break, and so that allows me to be a better mom and parent, because I get off I get off to be able to be more often, which means I can be around more for my son. And it's hard during the year because I do have to put in a lot more work after school and all of these things during the school. When we're in school, we're in it, right? There's no taking off. I mean, we do have a couple personal and sick days here, there, and yonder, but it's not very much, right? So when school starts, we hit the ground running and we don't stop, and I try to avoid taking off whenever possible, right? Which maybe even to my detriment. Maybe I should have taken off more and I didn't. But in any case, no, most jobs don't have that ability. And this, of all my options, teaching as a profession seemed like the best mom kind of job, right? And I mean, that's just a fact. And so, and that's a factor for me. If you don't care about that, or you don't plan to be a parent, maybe it's not a factor for you, but it is a factor for me. Not to mention the security. That's another thing. Is, as I said, I know even if I lost this job today, I could find another school. I could find I could go to work in another parish or county or another state. There's always another school, right? If for whatever reason this one didn't work out. And so that also kind of gives you a lot of, not only because it gives me a lot of security, it also gives me a lot of power to say, this school isn't working out for me, I'm going to the next one. Now, I'm very happy at my current school, but it took me 5 years, and this is my 4th school. It took me a long time to finally get to this point. But because my job is so secure, I was not too worried about leaving one school and go to the next one, because I knew there's always another school. So that security, the ability to move. Maybe your husband moves a lot. It's really easy to be a teacher, and if your husband is in the military, and you can be a school anywhere you are. So that that flexibility and security is kind of unbeatable as a profession. What else? The pay's not bad. It's not great. I know we complain about pay a lot, and we should, because compared to some other professions, but compared to the amount of education that we have and the time we put in and the stress that we deal with, there's a lot of reasons why teachers complain about the pay, right? I think if the job were not so stressful, or if everyone didn't put the blame on us and hate us, if we had a little bit more appreciation, maybe we would complain less. But at the end of the day, and there's a lot of single parents out there, so really it's depending on where you live. First of all, some places pay nothing, right? Or even like private schools. Why do I not teach at a private school? Because I'd only make $20-something thousand, right? I'd probably go make more, just as much, go waitressing somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, public school, you get more than that, like double that. Still not a lot compared to how much education we have, but it's not nothing, right? I happen to live in a parish that's not as high as paying as other parishes around me, but they're working on it, and maybe one day they'll get more. I'm satisfied because I'm okay with making less in this parish, simply because I get to live where I work, which is very helpful and saves on gas and everything else. And that's another factor, right? So now I'm getting into, now that I've found another major factor, which may not be true for everyone, but is true for me, is I finally found a school that I really like, and I finally found a grade that I really like teaching, because I originally went into got my degree and everything to teach high school, and now I teach 5th grade English, and I'm so happy. So I have a grade that I really like with teaching literature I really like, and grading things that I find acceptable to grade. Sorry, I'm just making sure, checking both ways. So I kind of finally found my nexus of being really happy in my job, right? So even before, when I wasn't really happy, I had a lot of factors that kept me in the job, think so. I think the time off, the pay, which is decent enough, right? Not if I worked in private school, I don't think it'd be worth it, unless that private school had the benefits. So benefits is another big deal when you're thinking about being a teacher. Teachers do have a lot of benefits as far as like a pension type retirement, and if you're working in a private school, you don't get that. But private schools, a lot of private schools, at least in my area, don't pay much. But if you want your kid to go to that private school, that benefit is huge, right? Because then you're saving a lot of money on your kids going to private school. So that's another. So if you're thinking about why the teaching profession why am I sticking with this profession over other professions? Back when I wanted to leave the profession, the benefits, and retirement and pay is decent enough. If I had pay but nothing else, it wouldn't be worth it, right? But when you're thinking about all of these things that add up, the holidays off, the pay, and the salary and the benefits, all of those things, just really, and the fact that I can be a parent in more of the time, all of those things add up to, really, I don't think there's any other profession that fits what I need most for my personal needs, right? Now, and now that I finally found a school, see, before that was even when I didn't even like what I was very unhappy with how much work we were having to do. But now that I finally found a school and a job and a grade that I really, really love, that's just like icing on the cake bonus. Yay. And I'm getting more experience. I'm feeling more confident. So I've got to end the video. I'm home. We got to go somewhere. But so anyway, I just want to say, wait, hold on 1 second. I don't want the, so anyway, all of that to say, that's why I'm still in the profession, and maybe those are some things you should think about if you're trying to decide, should I stay in this profession or not? So just keep those ideas, those things in mind, that if you're like, should I stay or should I go? There really are a lot of good things that have kept me in the profession, even when I didn't enjoy what I was doing, simply because of a lot of other factors that I've talked about in previous videos. But now that I like it, and I have found a school that I like, and a grade that I like, and kids I love, and a work balance that is good, wouldn't leave it, wouldn't change it for the world, wouldn't go to any other profession now. So just keep those ideas in mind when you're choosing, when you're trying to make those kinds of decisions with your profession. All right. I hope that helps somebody out there. Have a good day. Bye.